Hi, so in this video I wanted to continue the videos that I was making about the significance of colors in dreams. So in the last video I talked about blue. Now I think in this video I want to talk about the color red. So okay, so for the context of this color, let me think of a dream that where okay, so there was this one dream. Now in this, I don't remember everything that happened in this dream. I just remember one particular moment, and because it was a very visual moment, in out of whatever else that happened in that dream. So I was at this. It was a completely. It was like in the middle of nowhere, and it almost didn't even feel like it was Earth. It was like an an entirely different landscape. So I'm in this place, and it almost feels like it is night, except that it is somehow a bit brighter than well, at night everything else would be dark. If you are in a far off location, if you're in a remote place, at night everything's going to be dark. Except so it wasn't that dark. There was some reddish light coming from somewhere. So and this is where the whole color thing kind of comes in. So I'm in this place. It's almost like a desert, and there is no trees or anything else anywhere. And I'm on top of this, almost like a yeah, it was a mountain. And on top of this mountain, I can see really far away. So I look in front of me and I can see almost like an endless landscape in front of me. It just keeps going and keeps going. And it's this whole desert landscape. And it's kind of like, those kind of sandstorms that you have in the deserts when they come in, everything gets dusty. So it was kind of the air of the place. It was completely dusty, and there was this red light coming in now. So it's an interesting visual to think about. So I'm out here and I'm looking in front of me, and this landscape just it's just this endless landscape, and then there's this dust moving everywhere. And from I don't know if this light was coming, it was probably coming from the sky, but there was no one particular source. It was just coming, it was like uniform light that was coming that was coming down, and it had lit up this whole dust storm, the kind of thing that was happening um, in that desert-like area, whatever it was. So that's one of the interesting ones where the color red came in, because it was a very striking sight to see. If you can try to imagine it being in a really high place on top of a mountain and looking at a really large desert with the color red everywhere. It's a crazy sight. Um, so that's one of the examples of what it was, with the color red. And apart from this, I can remember one more. Now this was a bit more a bit more surreal. So what was happening in this dream was I was in some kind of a, it didn't feel like a car, but it was some kind of a vehicle. It was just this one plain surface, and on top of this plain surface there were, if I can, oh, mm, I don't even remember exactly what kind of, it was some kind of a vehicle. It had four wheels, that much I remember. It didn't look much like a car. Try maybe something like a go-kart. So I was on top of this, and the where the where the cart was driving was on top of this huge glass floor. And now this glass floor had those, it had connections. It wasn't just one piece. So it was tiled with all these glass, with these glass panels, and you could see the grid of the panels everywhere on the floor. And beneath the glass floor there was this glowing redness underneath it. So um, it was almost like, how do I describe it? It was this yellowish orange red type of glow that was coming from underneath. And on top of this there is this glass, this entire glass floor. and the vehicle is kind of running around on top of it. And at the end of it, I got off the vehicle, and there was a door. Now there was nothing around it as far as I could see. It was just carrying on, but there was this one door, and I don't remember much of what happened after this. But I got off the vehicle and I opened the door, and I went in, and then it was an entirely different place. So these are two of the dreams that I can remember right now, where the color red really kind of created a striking image. So so in this context, I think the the idea behind the color is that it appears in a very striking way. Now compared to the blues or compared to any other colors, this has more of a slightly more intense feeling to it, and as though there's some element of danger to it. It almost feels like there's something there's some danger in the dream whenever the color red kind of comes in, or there's some sense of isolation in the dream. Or but I guess that normally goes with those are the things that in in stories in stories or in literature, the color red is often, or in visual arts, it's often associated with these kind of danger objects or some element of danger. So I guess it kind of carried forward in the dream. But apart from that, I cannot really think of other dreams right now. So maybe if I remember another one, I'll make another part of this video where I discuss more about the color red. So I think that's where I'm going to stop with this topic. And for the next few videos, I have again a few ideas of what videos I want to make, which are going to be somewhat very similar to the ones that I'm making right now. So the topic is going to be dreams and all the various things that you normally happen to see in dreams, and the contexts and the places and the visuals and any other ideas that relate to dreams. So well, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.